Western sanctions affected my life in Russia, basically made it less convenient. But how exactly it affects life of Russians? In today's video I'm going to explain what exactly changed in our daily life since February 2022. Hi, my name is Niki. I live in St. Petersburg city, and on this channel I basically share my daily life in Russia. And sadly, but this year we all are affected by actions of our governments dramatically. I actually think that actions of my own government affect me and limit my freedoms more than anything else. But that's a topic for another video. Today let's dive into tiny little interesting details of the sanctions. But first, I see there's a lot of new people finding my videos recently. Please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button with a notification bell, especially if you return to watch my videos and haven't subscribed yet. Thank you. Man, there's so many things to share talking about sanctions and changes in life here, but I want to mention one thing that I read, that I learned just this morning. Basically, it's about freedom of travel. A few weeks ago, I received news about certain list of European countries who want to restrict Russian tourists from entering their countries. And I first thought it's like Russian propaganda or fake news, because the concept behind this idea is simply ridiculous to me. How could a civilized and democratic country want to restrict somebody from entering their land simply judging by other person's nationality, no matter who that person is, simply stating that, hey, that person is coming from that country and we want to see no one from that country traveling our land. That's so weird. Then last week, 9 European countries decided to restrict Russians from traveling their land, basically declining all tourist visa applications. And the rest of European Union, as far as I understand, made the process of applying for tourist visa more complicated, like it got more expensive and you got to wait much longer time than before. Once again, making these complications and restrictions only based on somebody's nationality. Still, even for a higher price and for longer waiting time, Russian people were able to get European tourist visas and, for example, go to Estonia or to the Netherlands or to Latvia having a tourist visa of another European country until this morning. What I read in the news this morning again made me think, is that kind of stupid Russian propaganda or fake news? But no, the news was real. The 4 European countries decided to completely shut down their borders for Russian tourists, even if they have a tourist visa of other European country, basically Schengen visa. So right now I and any other Russian people are not able to go and travel to Estonia, to Poland, to Lithuania and Latvia. Of course, there is still some way to go to these countries for Russians, but you have to have something more serious than desire to explore the country and to get into their culture and to try their delicious cuisine and so whatever. And such news led to really interesting and funny reaction from Russian officials. Like Vladimir Chizhov, who is a Russian diplomat in European Union, commented it this way: "We will not mirror that decision. We will keep being a country that is committed to democracy, the freedom of travel. We are open for people who want to visit Russia and see how Russians really live and what's going on in Russia." And the thing is, yeah, Russia right now is open to foreigners. I personally met a few Europeans who were visiting St. Petersburg last week, and these restrictions are honestly ridiculous, guys. I actually wonder, what do you think about such kind of restrictions to freedom of travel just based on somebody's nationality? For me, it sounds like a crazy thing, but maybe I am not right. Go explain in the comments. Another little thing that touched basically every single person in Russia, and local people and foreigners who travel Russia, is the blocking of internet. Interesting thing that such restrictions come not only from the Russian side, not only from the Russian government that blocks a lot of websites, but also from the West, from foreign companies. So a few examples for you. Because of Russian government, I cannot get access to Instagram and Facebook, they blocked it. But at the same time, I cannot get access to services like Canva and Pitch, which I frequently used before, because of policies of those companies. Apparently they don't want to have any Russian customers anymore. And there are thousands and thousands of websites and platforms that are blocked, and from Russian side and from foreign side. But of course, people in Russia want to use services that are blocked for them. And here comes a simple solution. Russian people learned how to use a VPN. And this is the perfect time for a quick word from today's video sponsor, private internet access. What can I say, guys? Now in the year 2022, using a VPN is absolute necessity for me. And with 30 million downloads, private internet access is the world's most transparent VPN provider. It can change my IP address and encrypt my online presence, so my internet activity is hidden from the internet service provider and any other unwanted watchful eyes. It also allows me to check my emails because yes, even my email provider is blocked here in Russia. Private internet access comes with some extra benefits as well. This VPN is compatible with all major streaming services and it helps you avoid geo restrictions. In one click you're ready to access more content than ever before, be it Russia related or not. And since private internet access uses world-class server infrastructure in 83 different countries and all 50 US states, there are a ton of different servers to hop on. Private internet access can also block ads, trackers and malicious websites. It's available for all platforms, and really cool thing is that one subscription can protect 10 devices at the same time. So get private internet access with my link in the description and get impressive 82% discount. That's only $2.11 a month, and you also get 3 extra months completely for free. And since you have 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support, everything is risk-free for you. So guys, use my link to get started, and thanks to private internet access for sponsoring this video. I've got some props to illustrate you another point, the effect of sanctions, but I think this one is rather familiar to you, especially to people who live in European countries and in America. I've heard that prices for groceries and gas and stuff is increasing, and it's not unique to Russia, but anyways, simply to illustrate how it's happening in Russia, this is the eggs that I used to get for myself before. A funny thing is that in Russia we have 10 packs of eggs, like not 12, not a dozen, but one is broken, so I technically have a 9-pack. Anyways, back in January 2022, I could buy this pack of eggs, like the ones that I typically get for myself, for 74 rubles. It's like exactly $1 by that time. And right now, exactly same thing cost 120 rubles, or exactly $2, again at today's exchange rate. Such a huge difference. I already talked a lot of times about prices differences in Russia, and the main idea is the prices, yes, it went up, the income of people stayed at the same level, so basically it's harder to afford the same level of life as before. But last couple of months got us some kind of stability in terms of prices. Russian ruble to USD to American dollar rate was kind of the same all the time since June or July, and since that time I see the prices actually going down to more or less the same level as before, but not on every stuff. For example, tech products are super expensive now compared to before, especially if you count it in American dollars. But still, on a daily life level, economic sanctions from the West got some huge influence on ordinary people's shopping list, but it's getting a little bit better recently. And last but surely not the least thing, perhaps the most rage-generating thing for you, not for Russians. It's the news about international companies who said back in March something like, we are leaving Russian business completely, we are leaving Russian market, we are not doing any business with Russians. And many companies actually did what they said, and right now it's kind of complicated to get their products in Russia. I'm not saying impossible, just a little bit complicated, or you have to wait longer time or you have to pay higher price, usually even these two things combined. But we also have huge international companies who first were saying like we are leaving Russia, but right now they are kind of coming back to our market, some of them silently, some of them like without hiding it at all. And no, I'm not talking about McDonald's or Starbucks. Yes, we have Vkusne and Tochka restaurants instead of McDonald's, and Stars Coffee instead of Starbucks, but as far as I understand, they don't have any relation to original McDonald's and Starbucks. The new companies owned by Russian companies, and I believe all income stays in Russia without going to original McDonald's or Starbucks, whatever. I have two different examples for you. One is Japanese company named Panasonic that sells various kind of tech products, and second is H&M that is widely popular in Russia. Back in March, and Panasonic and H&M say something like they live in Russian market, like completely for sure. And right now what I see is H&M store being opened in Moscow, and as far as I know, there's gonna be also a new collection, like a new clothes collection from them coming soon to Russia. As for Panasonic and tech products, it's even more interesting because right now Panasonic is kind of not doing business with Russia, although there is an online store that is working this very moment, and I can buy their stuff officially imported from Japan. The website and the company is called ePlaza, and as the website states, is the official company that distributes official production of Panasonic from Japan. And of course, as you can expect, this ePlaza is owned and created by one of the top managers of old Panasonic Russia. As they're stating on the website, right now they are selling officially imported stuff from Panasonic company, but don't worry, they will not stop doing business once the purchased before war stock is over. You know, because Russian Ministry of Industry and Trade created something called parallel import. What it means is that Russian company can legally import a certain list of products from other countries without having a manufacturer's or a brand's consent. So, for example, if Apple does not want to send any new iPhones to Russia, it will be subject to parallel import. It's actually not a new thing for Russian economy, but perhaps it's coming for a really big scale. But first time we had it back in like 2014, 2015, when we got first sanctions from the West. That time we lost opportunity to get some foreign produced goods, but Russian companies continued getting them inside Russia just using third-party companies or countries. A real quick summary. I believe if I go outdoors and ask just a random Russian simple question, how do sanctions affect your life? Most likely they'll say something like, well, it's kinda inconvenient, but it's survivable. I hope you learned something new from watching this video, and if you want to watch more stuff from Russia, check out this video. Спасибо and пока.